Hey, friends, and welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast. Today on the show, we're going to discuss something a little bit hard, maybe something that's been on your mind lately. We're going to talk about the recession. We're going to talk about the possible recession. We're going to talk about the downturn, the possible downturn in the economy. And let's just bring it all up to air. Let's just discuss it. I'm hearing conversations about it and people tiptoeing around it, and I just want to talk about it with you. So the sky is not falling, my friends. So let's just jump in. Let's just have a conversation about it. Let's go. Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. All right, so in my mastermind groups, in my one-on-one coaching, in my retailers inner circle monthly coaching group, that's where I coach every month. We're hearing a lot of conversation and, worry, niggling worry, I want to call it. Some people are talking about it, some people are not, but I am getting an increased inquiries from people who want to work one-on-one with me or in my mastermind group so they can prepare. They want a deep dive strategy session to prepare for this. And so I understand it's it's conversation, it's happening, it's niggling in the background, right? It's what's going to happen. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we can do to prepare, what we should be preparing for. Should we be preparing for anything? What should we talk about? Or what we should be thinking about? And I'm here to tell you that the recession or a downturn in the economy, mostly in North America is where the conversation's happening right now, is not the end of your business. It's not the end of self-employed life. Tons of businesses thrive through economic downturns. Why not you? I want you to go back and think about the pandemic when it first hit, if your shop was open. I know tons of people, actually, I've had tons of retailers open their shops during this downturn in economy, this pandemic. Hard times make for strong businesses. That's kind of a weird way of looking at it or saying it, but we just want to make sure that we are in the best possible position during these hard times. And again, as I mentioned, the sky is not falling. Lots of people thrive. Why not you? Why not you be the one that thrives through this? So what's the difference between retailers that thrive and retailers that die or give up during downturns? And the key is, and historically, when you look back, and I've done so much research, and I just, from learning all of this, that it's the retailers that have the foundation. It's the retailers that know what they're doing, that prepare, that they're proactive, not reactive. So a lot of this as well is mindset. And I'm not trying to be positive, sprinkle fairy dust on all this and make it go away. That's not really what they call that. But, it's not false positive. You are right to be prepared. You are right to think about it. It's good that it's on your mind. If it's not on your mind, then, maybe it needs to be on our mind. But it doesn't have to, we don't have to go to this, it's all awful attitude or mindset. That's what I want to talk about today. So we need to think about our attitude and how we are approaching this. So that's our first sort of step into this, what we have to do. But businesses thrive. I mean, the holidays are still coming. Weddings are still happening. Graduations. Babies are still being born and need gifts. People still are craving fun and your studios and art and beautiful things. And why should you not thrive? Like, someone's going to get these sales. Someone is going to do this, so why not you? People are still going to buy clothes. They're still going to buy things. And the numbers right now, as I'm recording this right now, the sales are up, like MasterCard, Visa, all of those indicators, all of the reports that we read. Sales are up. People are still spending right now. So, this is the beginning of June when I'm recording this. So, at this time, people are still spending lots of money. There's still lots of money to be spent and on, it should be you. Let's spend it in your store. So there are some things that we can do to, again, be proactive. And I'm going to share those with you today. But is every business going to close if there's a downturn in the economy? No. So let's flip the script on our mindset on that, and let's do the work to be the one that thrives through all of this. It's not a victim through all this. And it all starts with your mindset. You have to make a choice on that. So let's go. I have 5 things so we can think about things I think we need to do to prepare. So the first one is we really have to get intentional about the way we want to think about this and how we're going to think about it. So we have to get efficient with everything. And I know I feel like we're pros at this. I feel like this is like a recap, and I am going to add some show notes. In the show notes, I'm going to add a couple of our podcasts that we did during the pandemic to go a little bit deeper, to remind you of the things that we can do to be efficient. So being efficient with our money, our expenses, our staff, being efficient. It's not the time maybe to go buy the fluff, the things that we don't need to make an income. So maybe it's not the time to go buy something fancy for your shop. I'm trying to think of something, kind of fluffy, something that's a want, not a need. Something that's not going to make you money, not going to be used as a revenue generator. This might be the time, again, we cut the fat, and I know we've been cutting the fat a lot. We did this a lot during the pandemic. If you've been following along, we talked about this before. If you are a client of mine, this is old hat, and I'm just reminding you because we've been talking about this for a while. This might be the time to cut the fat, but not the bone. Do not cut all the way through to the bone. You don't want to cut things that are important. You don't want to cut all your staff because Q4 is coming and you want to be the one that's busy. We're going to need your staff. So it's not the time to cut the staff. This is not the time to cut the things that make you money, the things that help you make progress, the things that, that you lean into when during struggle times or anything like that. We want to make sure we're only cutting the fluff. And we're not doing anything extra. So that's the first thing. The second thing that we should all be looking at or thinking about is really focusing on new customer acquisition. That's a big word for saying more foot traffic. So what are we being super intentional about for foot traffic? Really, I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do you have a strategic marketing plan in place for new customer attraction? I'm not talking about, I've been posting on Facebook. That's not a strategic marketing plan, my friend. So I want you to make sure that you're being super intentional about foot traffic and attracting new customers in as many ways as you can think about. This is the time we got to lift up and show up, right? So ask yourself and be really super honest if you have an attract strategy. Word of mouth is amazing, and this is what we want to grow, but we really need to have a strategy around how we're spreading that word of mouth and what are we doing intentionally. So there's millions of ways to do that. And again, we talk about that a lot in my Foot Traffic Made Simple, my mini course that I have. We talk about it extensively inside the Retailer's Inner Circle. And of course, if you haven't experienced those programs, I highly recommend, jumping into our Retailer's Inner Circle if you can. This is one of those expenses I think we need to lean into. I don't want people to, if you can't afford it, don't jump in. But if you can, I think it's a really good time to be surrounded by people, as I said. But I also have the mini course, Foot Traffic Made Simple. So it doesn't have to be, I'm not trying to sell you something you don't need. I really, really, truly believe that it's important to have an attract strategy for new customer acquisition. This is a really, really important time for this, because if we think about the downturn in the economy, let's just get crazy and say 50% of the country gets affected by it. Well, that's still 50% of the country that are still out shopping. And by the way, it's never going to be 50%. There's still going to be people shopping and buying and, all of those things. So we need to have a bigger customer base. I mean, we always want a bigger customer base, but now more than ever, let's be planting a lot of seeds right now. Let's be really focused on new customers and how we're attracting them. The third one is we want to build crazy loyal customers. I actually literally have crazy underlined here in my notes. So there's a difference between regular customers that come in, or repeat customers, and then loyal, crazy loyal customers. And again, I have a couple of podcasts talking about building super fans, and these are the customers that have an emotional attachment to you and they're just they love your shop and they're going to come back. So that's going to help them choose you when they only have maybe if they have a limited amount of money for the holidays, they're going to choose you to spend it. And hopefully that makes sense. But again, building crazy loyalty is something that we need to be intentional about right now. It's a great time to be really paying attention to how we are doing that. What is our strategy around building loyalty? And again, not just repeat customers, but loyal people that love us. What are we doing to wow and delight your customers? What are you doing to make them smile? What are you doing to have them talk about you in a good way in the rest of all over, wherever they are around town? So that's number 3. Number 4 is we have to get really, really good. And this is, be open to this. Be open to this and honest with yourself. We have to get really, really good at sales. We have to get really, really good at the foundational things of our inventory, understanding our POS system, being able to read our profit and loss, knowing your inventory count at any given time, learning what to measure, what do we measure to make a difference, on training and all of HR, buying, pricing, all of that stuff. It's a lot, right? It's a lot of things, but the retailers that are doing the work, wherever stage you're at, there's always that next level, that next lever we can pull, that next thing we can step into. Understanding that, getting a really good handle on your business foundations, of understanding, maybe for you it's inventory. I really need to get a handle on my inventory, or I really need to make sure my pricing's right on, it's good. And don't make assumptions. We want to learn to measure these things. We want to know what we're measuring. And again, give yourself some grace about how hard we've been working for the last couple of years, and we're all at different stages. So whatever stage you're at, let's just where can we dig a little deeper? That's something I've been asking myself. It's something I've been asking my clients. Where can we just dig a little deeper that we can get you that next level confidence in that skill, of that foundation. And I mean, honestly, the last part of this, the things that we can do to be very proactive and not so reactive, it's the most important part. Again, not being fluffy or anything, but it is your mindset. You have got to lead your people. You've got to lead your business. You have got to believe in your business. You have got to check in with your mindset. Your heart and your head have got to be in the game, and you have got to believe that your business is going to thrive through this, and you're not going to hope for customers to walk in, and you're not going to hope that this all works over and blows over, and you're not going to hope. You're going to plan. You're going to plan for the whole thing. I have this quote that I love, and I think I've shared it on the podcast before, but I'm not sure. But it might be the first time you hear it, or it's a good reminder if I have shared it before. And this is a quote from my coach, Jeffrey Shaw, and it's in his book, The Self-Employed Life. And I just love it because it's actually a really good reminder. So the biggest risk is not in what we're building. The biggest risk is in not supporting what we're building. And it's kind of a real big aha for me sometimes when I reread that, and I remind myself that, it's not all these things that we're doing in our business every day. It's are we doing the things that are we doing the right things to support our business? So believing in your business, believing that your business is going to thrive through this, whatever this thing might be that's coming, if it's coming at all. Just having yourself set up for success and going in with a positive mindset, going in not the sky's falling and oh, woe is me and oh, everything's awful, because that will be the death of you. That is what's going to cause you to close your store. Being sad and scared and all of those things, they're going to happen. But step into that, step into your role of CEO and really understand that we are here to support our beautiful businesses. You have built a beautiful business. I believe so much in your dream, in your business. I believe that the world is, I live, sleep, breathe this, that the world is a better place because of local small businesses like yours. And you need to believe that too. So I just wanted to encourage you. I wanted to talk about this, whatever this is that's coming, this downturn in the economy. And I do want to remind you, and again, I have created the course Retail Made Simple for foundational business needs. I created the course I couldn't find. I've talked about this a lot. So that course is now available evergreen, meaning that it's available anytime. And the reason that I have created that course and put it out into the world full time, like you can do it on your own anytime now. It used to be a guided course. You used to have to wait till I opened it up. It used to be like, oh, only, 25 seats left and all of that stuff. Not anymore. I believe so fully that this course is needed for so many retailers that we have opened the doors for you to take it anytime. And it's self-guided now. It's bite-sized, easy to understand. Retail foundations. I talk about how to step into that mindset of being the boss. Like truly, it's a big thing. It's a big thing being in control and in charge of, and all of the things that we're responsible for this big, beautiful business, that we've built and we're creating and we're growing. It's also about the money side of things, right? So it's really I call it a dashboard. I use a lot of analogy about, it's like an airplane. We have to know where we're going. So that's part of being the boss. You have to we have to have a big picture plan. We have to know where we're going, even through this bumpy ride here of whatever's coming at us, right? So the second module inside Retail Made Simple is all about the money, because we don't talk about that enough. We don't talk about a lot of things in our world, in the retail world. It's great. We kind of all like, oh, we know how to price, manufacturers suggested retail pricing, but that's not a thing, right? You guys know that we don't do that anymore, right? So, but understanding how to read a profit and loss without feeling like, I don't really understand how to read a profit and loss, and understanding why it's important to not be just looking at that once a year, like I was when I was in my crazy part before I learned how to do all this. And my accountant, to be honest, was no help. And I've shared that many times. Understanding how to understand your inventory and your balance sheet and where it lives and debt, and why am I making so much money yet there's no money in the till? Like, what is happening? Like, where's my paycheck? And understanding how to have a paycheck, and all of these things that are really, maybe hitting home with you a little bit. The third module inside Retail Made Simple is all about marketing. And not social media. It's not a how to do social media. That's not marketing. Marketing is thinking of a strategy. Like, how are we attracting new people to our shop? How are we wowing them? How are we nurturing them? How are we getting them to know, like, and trust us so they become these crazy super fans that we really want? And how to put that into a strategy and a practice in place, right? And also sales. Sales are not always, super intuitive for some of us, or maybe we don't know how to talk to our team about sales. Maybe you're really good at sales, but you're like, why do those people not understand? Like, why they, why I might as well do it myself. That's what I hear a lot. But I want you to understand, like, how to sell with integrity and heart. It's, and we all know how to cross sell and bundle and increase your average order value, which again, bringing more people into your shop and increasing your average foot traffic, and then getting them to come back again and again. That's the secret sauce. That is the magic formula that is going to keep you in business during any kind of recession. That's what we talk about inside Retail Made Simple. And also planning for success, not hoping for it. So plan for success, don't hope for it. That is the fourth module. It's really understanding how to structure your day and your time. Time management for retailers is so hard. It's so hard to get a handle on that. And you're like, oh, I don't have time to do any of this, because you need a time management program. You need a plan in place. And that's what we talk about, again, inside Retail Made Simple. If you've already taken Retail Made Simple, which hundreds of you already have, you have access to I've done a lot of updates in the course. We've updated the workbooks. We've updated some of the modules. You have access to that. It's a lifetime It's a lifetime access. Well, it's lifetime as long as I have the course running. But if you've already taken it, please do not purchase it again. I want to make sure that you know that you have access to that. And we've also kept the price really reasonable because I want it in as many hands as I can get it into. I have it at less than half of what my coaches and advisors all tell me to price it at. And I'm like, no, this is where I am living in this. I'm staying in my integrity of wanting to serve my retailers. And I want this in more hands. So we've opened it up. It's available today. It's available right now. You can go at midnight tonight, or you can go right now, whenever you're listening to this podcast, and you can grab it. You no longer have to wait. And I heard that from so many retailers. So if that was you, and you were one of the people that asked me to, why did I have to wait till I'm ready to sell it or to do it with you, you can go do it on your own. So, and again, you can find it at wendybatten.com/retail-made-simple RMS. wendybatten.com/RMS, which stands for Retail Made Simple. Trying to keep it simple, but getting it all flubbed up. If you have your foundations and you feel really good about that, I'm not trying to sell you a course. I am trying to let you know that it is there. And I want you to understand that you are capable of stepping into this role and being really thriving on the other side of whatever's coming. You totally can thrive on the other side. I see people do it all the time through the pandemic. We see it through recessions all the time. So again, flip your mind. Know that it's all about, that's the number one key, mindset. You have to decide with your heart and your head that you're going to be one of those ones that just thrives through this, all this whole permission to thrive through this. So there you are, my friends. I hope you found this helpful. Reach out if I can support you in any way with any of my programs or services, VIP days, whatever you need. You reach out, let me know. If you're not a member of our Retailers Inner Circle, it is the most affordable way to jump in and get coached by me. It is a great community as well too. So that's available as well too. Please lean into any support that you need through this. Don't stay figuring this all out alone. So, all right, my friends, we will see you next week. We are going to be doing a mid-year review. We're going to give you a checklist to go through your mid-year review and just check in on ourselves and see how we're doing this year and where are we headed and all those fun things. So we'll see you next week, my friend. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. Make sure you join our Rockstar Creatives Facebook group. We will continue the conversation over there weekly. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.